You ready?
Yeah.
And I got on the plane this morning. While I was in the air, we developed motor trouble in the air. Now, I was glad to get back on the ground. But don't get me wrong, this child don't have faith with God in the air, just I had more experience than when I'm on the ground. I was a certain man that wanted to trick Jesus. And this man said to Jesus, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus said, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And this man said, love God with all their heart and with all their soul, with all their mind, and with all their strength. And they neighbor as themselves. And Jesus said to this man, you answer correctly, this do and you shall live. But this man was willing to justify himself. And he said unto Jesus, well, who is my neighbor? And Jesus immediately put that question from midair and placed that question on the dangerous curve between Jerusalem and Jericho. And he talked about a certain man which fell among thieves. They ripped him of his raiment and beat him and leaving him half dead. But by chance the priest came by. The priest looked on him, on the other side of the road, and went him and stopped and helped him. But also the Levite was on that journey also. He looked on him also, but passed by the other wayside and went him and stopped and helped him. But then the Samaritan Galilean got on off his beast, helped this man, bandaged his wound, took this man to the end of the city, and told the host, whatever this man owed me more, I'll be glad to pay thee. And Jesus said, which of all three were like neighbor unto him? The man said, the one who showed mercy. And I leave with you this morning, that when I was in Albany, a black lady, well-dressed, came to me and said, are you Martin Luther King? And I said, yes. But by then I felt some beating in my chest, for I knew that I had been stabbed by the estranged woman. That allowed me to enter the Harlan Hospital. And the doctor came to me and had to form a team of surgery to remove that blade. And that blade was 7 inches into my chest and came to a rest against the outer wall against my artery. And the doctor said if you made a certain move, or better yet, if you nearly sneezed, that blade would have punctured your artery and you were drowning in your own blood. And that's been the end of it. And I received letters, but I forgot about a lot of those letters. But I received another letter from a little white girl at the White Plain High School. She said, Martin Luther King, I'm a white girl, but it shouldn't matter. And I read in the news time about your misfortune. And I read why you said that you nearly sneezed, you would have died. I write this letter to say to you that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze. And I want to say to you this morning that I'm so happy that I didn't sneeze. If I sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1960 and 61. When students from down south began sending lunch columns, that they were sending in and standing up from the American dream. If I would have sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962. When Negro from Albany, Georgia decided to straighten their bikes up. Whenever men and women straighten their bikes up, they're going somewhere. You cannot ride a man's bike unless it has been. If I would have sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1963 when we went ahead and did the legal memorial. And I stood up and said, I have a dream. If I would have sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1964 when we began to end the freedom ride and the segregated law against Jim Crow law. If I would have sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1965. I'm so happy that I didn't sneeze. But it really don't matter now. It really don't matter what happened now. We got some difficult days ahead. As I began to leave Atlanta Airport, the pilot came across the address system. The pilot said, we're sorry for the delay. We had the plane guarded all night because we got Martin Luther King on the plane. And all my flight, I never heard that pilot to address that statement. If he only making the plane, I'm going to be killed. And I got into Memphis. Some began to say the threats or talks about the threat that was out. What would happen to me from some of our sick white brothers? But I don't know what would happen now. We got some difficult days ahead, but it really don't matter with me now. Because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like any man, I like to live a long life, longevity have its place. I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up into the mountain. And I looked over and I seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people, we will get to the promised land. I'm so happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing no man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He coming back.